Hello everyone, it's me MaxHacker11 and welcome to the fourth tutorial in this course, Learning HTML. Today we will cover a lot of stuff, so this is probably going to be about a 15-minute tutorial. It's going to be a lot of information for you to take in. So let's start as soon as possible. So this is just some example code I wrote a few moments ago. Now don't worry about writing anything down yet. I just want to show you some basic terminology, and then later on in this same tutorial we will write some of our own code. So let me just show you some basic terminology. As you can see, whenever you open an HTML document, you will see a lot of these types of parentheses, and you will see some text in between them. Now this text in between is called a tag. Now this right here is an opening tag, and this right here is a closing tag. So this is an opening HTML tag, and this right here is a closing HTML tag. How do I know that? Well, as you can see, an opening tag it only has text inside. It doesn't have a forward slash at the beginning, but a closing tag always has a forward slash at the beginning. Okay? So as you can see, this is an opening head tag and this is a closing head tag. This is an opening body tag, this is a closing body tag. This is an opening li tag and this is a closing li tag. Now, yeah, we will cover this later. You can also write it like this if it's easier for you. You can write it like this and then maybe create an indentation by pressing tab. This works the same way, so yeah. It's the same way. It's the same thing. So yeah, you might have also noticed that tags nest inside each other. So for example, the title is nested inside the head. The H1 and the OL is nested inside of the body. The LIs are nested inside of the OLs, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think that's probably all I wanted to cover. So let me just give you another, I guess, second tag, then some text. So when you nest these tags, you have to be careful of in which order they are opened and in which order they are closed. So if you have a first tag being open and then a second tag being open or nested inside of them, then something in between like text or whatever, then you have to close it in the same order you open it. So you close the second tag first, and then you close the first tag later. Okay, so as you can see, first tag, second tag, text, second tag, first tag. So if I was to write this a little bit neater, so wait a second, with some indentations, which I really like to use, then it would look something along the lines of this. As you can see, it looks much more natural and easy to read for other people who are probably going to be using your code. So you have to keep it neat, especially if you're working in a group. So yeah, that's the first part, I guess, of this tutorial, some basic terminology. Now we shall move on to programming our simple little web page. So let's start. Okay, so I just went and opened our Lesson04-HTML file from our project folder right here. I just went right click and edit with Notepad++, just like we did in the last lesson. So now let's write some code, I guess. So in the first line you always want to write this, doctype HTML. Now notice this doesn't have an opening or a closing tag. It's just a single line of code. It always goes on the first line. Now you might ask, what does this do and why do we have to write it? Well, you don't really have to write it, but I recommend you write it, because what this line of code does is it tells the browser, whether it's Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Firefox or Opera, whatever browser I mean, it will tell the browser what document type it's reading, so that the browser knows what syntax to use to read the code more easily. Okay, so in this case it's reading HTML, so it knows immediately what it's reading. Okay, after this you want an open and close HTML tag. So you want to open an HTML tag and close an HTML tag. Now all the code in any HTML document goes inside of these two tags, the opening HTML and the closing HTML tag. So everything goes in between here. Now let me make something clear. Every HTML web page has two parts to it. It has a head part, so let me just write that down. So it has a head part, and it has a body part. Body. Okay, I'm not a fast typer, as you can see. It has a head part and a body part. So let's start off with the head, I guess. It will be easier. So pretty much the head contains, I guess, information about your HTML file. So what do I mean by information? For example, the title. Now the title is what we pretty much see in the browser's title bar, or I should probably call it the page tab. So let me just give you an example. I will use Google as an example. As you can see, I opened up Google, and this right here is the page tab, and this right here is the title. So the title is Google. So yeah, that's some information about the web page itself. Now the information in the head is not directly shown on the web page itself. What I mean by that is I consider this to be the web page itself. So all these buttons and images and all that stuff is here, while this is kind of like the information about the website. Okay, so now we know that. So yeah, let's add a title to our own little web page by doing this: an opening and a closing title tag. That's simple enough. So in between here you type some text, or you type the title, I guess. So let's just say my website. Okay, now you can save that, and let's go here, or you can just, I guess, open the project folder and just double click this, and it will open up in Chrome. And take a look at this right here. It says Lesson01.html. That's our file. If we reload this, it will change to my website. That's the text we typed in between these opening title and closing title tags. Okay, so now let's move on to the body. So the body is pretty much where you put the content, such as text, images, and links, I guess. So that's what I was talking about earlier. So the content in the body is what we will be, what will be seen, or what will be visible on the actual page, just like I was talking about earlier. Wait, yeah, this is the visible page. Okay, so let's open. No, wait, we already opened the body tag. So let me introduce you to paragraphs first, and then we'll introduce you to headings. So a paragraph is just a p tag. We use a p tag for paragraphs. So let me just write here, hello world. That's the famous line everyone uses. So let's just save that, and we can reload our little website here, and you can see hello world right there. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to know about paragraphs for now. Now let me introduce you to headings. Now, as you can see right here, it gives you I guess, I don't know what this is called. Anyways, there are 6 types of headings, from 1 to 6. And yeah, so let's just start with 1. Heading 1. Heading 1 is the biggest, and heading 6 is the smallest, pretty much. So let me just write something here. Let me just think about it. What could I write? let's say welcome, and let's save that. So this H stands for heading, and 1 stands for, I guess, the biggest one. And yeah, I will show you how the smaller ones look. So this is the big heading, and let me just show you the smallest one. Of course, you have to change both the opening and the closing heading tag. As you can see, it's really small. I will stick with about 3 for now. As you can see right there. Okay, so now you know about headings, you know about titles, you know about paragraphs. Okay, so what if you want to send the user of your website or web page to another part of your website, or another website altogether? So to do this, we use hyperlinks. So we talked about hyperlinks in the first lesson, I think. So it's when you click on a text or an image. It doesn't have to be a text, it could be an image or a video or whatever, and it takes you to another web page. So you create links with the A tag. Now this A tag cannot stand alone by itself. It needs an attribute. We will talk about attributes later on, so don't worry about that. But for now, I will just show you. This is a Href or Href, I guess, attribute. I think it stands for hypertext reference or something like that, or hyperreference. And after the attribute, you place an equal sign. You're pretty much declaring what it's equal to, and then you put these things, and inside goes the link. So for example, http:/Google, or actually www.google.com, and yeah, that's it. Now in between this first opening, this huge opening A tag, and the small closing A tag, goes the actual thing that you're going to be clicking on. So in this case, let's just use text because we still don't know how to add images. So let's say click me to go to google.com, and let's save that. Now let's open this and refresh, and as you can see, click me to go to google.com. So if you click this, it will take you to Google. Oh, thank God I have internet connection. Okay, so that's how that works. And let me just show you what happens if I remove this Href attribute and save this. If I reload now, it's just normal text. You cannot click on it, it doesn't take you anywhere. So that Href thing is really important. It's an attribute. Okay, so now you know quite a lot of things, and now let's learn about images. I think, yeah, images are up next. So for images, we use an image tag. And what is the image tag? It's img. Now this image tag is quite different. It doesn't need a closing tag, and instead it just uses a / at the end instead of the beginning. It doesn't use it here, it uses it here at the end. And you might ask, why is this? Well, let me just show you. Well, I can't really show you, but nothing ever really goes in between these two tags. Nothing, no text or anything. Let me just see if this will show up here. It will, but I don't really see the reason why anyone would use that. Nothing really ever goes in between the two image tags, the opening and closing ones. So it's not really needed, and you can just place this at the end. Now this image tag, once again, cannot stand alone by itself, so it needs an attribute. In this case, we will use a source attribute, or the src attribute. I think it stands for source. So where's the image coming from? So before we can write anything in here, in between these two things, we have to find an image. So let's go to Google, and I should probably go to images.google.com, and let's search for I don't know, a duck. And that can work. So right click and save image. Any moment now I will save this to our project. This is our project folder. If I open it, and I will create another folder inside of this because I want to keep everything organized. Any moment now, just don't worry, and call it images. Okay, and inside of this folder I want to save the duck.jpg. Yeah, and save that right there. So yeah, wait for it. Yep, it's saved. So now I can go into my Notepad++. Let me just show you first. This is our project folder. I just created an images folder inside there, and we have a duck image right here. Okay, so now if I go to Notepad++, I can now write the location of the image. Now instead of saying c/users/max/ blah 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 whatever, I can just write images /duck.jpg, something like that, and I can save that. Now why does this work? Well, this HTML file is in the project folder, so yeah, we just have to access images and then duck.jpg. Okay, so if I open this and refresh, you can see a duck on our web page. That's pretty much all we're going to learn for today, and let me just show you one more interesting thing that you can do. If I was to, for example, if I wanted to create a link, wait, I will actually create a link right here. So once again we use the Href attribute. I will once again use www.google.com. What is with me today? And then I will use this image inside. Actually, I'm going to make it like this. Okay, so I made a link, but instead of using text as the clickable thing, I use an image. Okay, so once again, let me just show you. You can just keep it organized by doing these inlines and indents by using tab and enter, just to keep it all organized. So if I save this and if I refresh, I will have another duck on the page, but if this duck, as you can see, I can click on it and it will take me to Google, as well as this link right here. So that's an interesting thing you can play around with. And I think we covered everything for today. I will leave you now, and in the next tutorial we will be building our little web page, and in the description below you can find some exercises and some examples that you can take a look at, and I guess study them, and yeah, practice a little bit until the next tutorial, which will probably be uploaded tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, who knows. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.